Are you holding on to a friendship, on a person, because you know what their problem is and you expect to fix it? Do you expect to give them the love that they never received, to help them in their problems, to help them overcome anxiety or not being disorganized anymore, or overcome their alcohol problems or pornography problems, sex problems, or fear problems of being loved? Are you expecting to save and fix this person? That's why you're holding on to that relationship? That's why you're holding on to that friendship? Hi, I'm Leslie, and I've been through a journey of self-development, overcoming challenges like anxiety, unemployment, getting divorced while adapting to a new country like Germany. I want to share my experiences with you because I know how it feels like to struggle with no hope. But I have learned that patience, perseverance, and love are key. And I'm here to show you that it's possible to overcome these challenges. Especially for today, I want to empower you to stop wasting your time trying to fix someone, trying to save someone. You cannot. As I said in a video before, you cannot change anybody. And if you are in a relationship, in a friendship, because you think that you are the one who can help this person, you can give them the love that they never received, you can help them overcome that trauma, you can help or fix that person somehow. If that's the reason why you're still there in that toxic relationship or environment or friendship, even if it's not toxic, but you're not happy there, it's not your place to be there anymore, stop doing it. Stop wasting your time. Save yourself. Save yourself. That's what you have to take care of, and that's your responsibility. Other people are not your responsibility, and that's what I want to talk about in this video because it has happened to me, and that's what I want to share with you today. And it's not worth it. It's not worth it sacrificing yourself, your life, your time for another person who does not want to change. And as long as this person does not want to change and maybe requires even further help, therapy, I don't know, a different kind of treatment, if that person is not willing to go through that, you're not going to be able to help. It's not your responsibility. It's not up to you. Don't sacrifice yourself, your time, your happiness for someone else. It's not on you. Save yourself first. So the first thing I want to talk about is this situation. Like, how many people do not really accept it or realize about it, right? So it's important to know if you're in that situation to accept it and acknowledge it. Are you in a friendship where you're struggling and you kind of really do not want to be there, or maybe you want to be there, but it hurts. It hurts and you know it's not good for you. It could be a toxic friendship, it could be a toxic relationship, it could be maybe not toxic necessarily, but something that is just not for you and it doesn't make you happy. But you stick to that friendship, you stick to that relationship because you see a problem in that person and you want to help, unconsciously or consciously. And that has happened to me many times. It has happened to me with family. Unfortunately, with family is something that you have to stay there. You cannot go somewhere else. Your family is your family, and of course sometimes you have to say, okay, that's how it is, and I'm able to help to a certain point. That's what I can do, and that's it. You cannot give all of your life for another person, even if it's from your family. It has happened to me as well with friendships, where there are other friends that I know and I'm like, okay, this relationship is not that good, and this friend is always coming to me with problems and complaining, and I kind of want to say no, but I want to help at the same time, and I know exactly what the problem is, and I try to give help and give support and tell, okay, hey, you should do this and that. But that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. But see, the person comes over to you asking for help. And that's annoying. It's annoying. And it hurts you and it bothers you. It annoys you. It drains your energy, right? You have to say no. And there's a point where you're like, enough. I am not your savior. I cannot fix you. I'm not going to do it unless you want to. But you really have to be willing to do it, and I can be some support to you. And the most common cases for relationships I have had that case in many different times of my life, and I can tell I have wasted so much time in my life trying to maintain a relationship that I know is not gonna work, that is not working, but I stayed there because I wanted to help that person. I was like, this guy had this problem, and poor guy, he's never received love, or he's got like this addiction, or he's got this problem, and I can help, and if I do this and that, maybe he's gonna really overcome that obstacle, and you're gonna make it better, and it's gonna be fine. But you know that that's not the person you want in your life. So as I talk in a different video, you have to accept people as they are from the very beginning, and don't try to change them. So why is this important? Because trying to help someone and fix someone actually means, while you're in a relationship, actually means that what's the real focus of you being in that relationship? You want to fix the other person, you want to save the other person, you love that person as well. But are you really happy in that relationship? Are you there because you really love that person and you are happy there? Or because you want to fix someone or try to fix something? You want to feel good about yourself doing something good for someone else. But it's not because you're happy. It's not because if you think about it, oh yeah, how is the relationship you want to have? Is it that way? Is it with someone who is really like acting that way, having this problem, and you're dealing with it all the time over and over? Is the imaginary of a happy relationship, of a happy friendship, of a healthy way to have a friendship with someone? Is that how you want it? Trying to find someone and fix the problems, fix this person? Think about it. Think about it, because a big problem from that, when you go in a relationship like that and you find yourself in that situation, a huge problem is that you stop taking care of yourself. You stop focusing on yourself, on what you want, on what you want to do with your life, on your needs, and you start putting all of your energy on that other person. You disregard yourself. You kind of neglect yourself. And that's a huge problem that happens in those kind of situations. You start putting your energy, focus, and attention on the other person. Oh, how can I do to make this person feel better? How can I do to help this person? No, maybe this person is having this problem. Maybe I can do this and that, so I can help and I can try to fix that person. How about you? How about you? When you start putting so much energy on another person, on another situation, something else, what happens with you? And to me, my personal experience when it has happened is that I start putting so much energy into that, so much focus on that. And when I think about it and realize about it, I'm completely lost. I completely gone, and I'm not there anymore. And then later I realize about it when the relationship goes on or the friendship goes on. Then you're like, what happened with myself? I did not used to be like this. I used to be happy, I used to be full of myself, I used to be confident and just think about what I wanted in my life and my goals and full of energy. But when you start putting your focus on the other person, trying to fix someone else, you lose all of that energy. Then you're like, okay, what happened with me? I wanted to do with my life this and that, and then you do not really know what actually you're doing with your life, with how you're progressing, because you're kind of lost. Like, your energy is somewhere else. It's not in your life anymore. And that's a huge problem. That's why I'm telling you, do not waste your time trying to fix someone else. Especially at the beginning of the relationship. If you just started. Maybe if you're, I don't know, in a marriage that goes like for many years and you have kids and you are going through it for years and you want to save it, and well, you have kids as well. You have many other reasons why you want to save it. It's different. You can find the tools to do it. You can find help, especially if the other person requires help, therapy. But in that case, it's very important that you are conscious and aware of what is needed to get there. The other person needs the willingness to do it. The other person needs to say, yes, I need help. I want to get better. I want to overcome this and that. I am willing to go to therapy. I am willing to go through this process, to go through this together with you and talk about my problems with you. Because if the person is not willing to do that, if never talks about feelings or whatever, forget about it. You always have that problem. That's never going to change. And even if the person is willing to change, some of them, they say, yes, we're willing to change. I want to change. I want to go to therapy. But it's really hard because many of them, they do it because their partner wants to. Because you want to do it, not because they really want to do it. So they don't. And it could be cases where there's years, many years, decades. People never change, situation never changes, and they're never happy. So that's why I'm telling you. And they're both people lost in the relationship. It's not just like one together and then like one person focused on their wholeness, on their goals, and no, it's just like completely lost because they're trying to go somewhere else and there's no solution, and it's really difficult. So it could be possible, yes, but at the same time requires a lot of energy and a lot of willingness from the person that needs to change. Actually from you as well, because if the other person needs to change, you also have to look into yourself, right? What do I have to change as well? What do I have to improve? It's not just on the other person. You have your problems as well. You have to think about yourself as well. And that's actually something very important because most of the times we focus on other people, other things, on other... we spot always what the problem is. We never look into us. We never look at, okay, what am I doing wrong? What is it that I'm working on that is not good? What is it that I'm making a mistake? Or what is it that, I don't know, something. Like you have to also reflect on yourself. You are not perfect. We are not perfect. We always have to be improving and working on ourselves. So if we put in our energy all the time on someone else, you forget about yourself and you stop growing. You get stuck, trapped in a box, in a bubble, trying to fix the other person. No, I want to fix that. I want to fix that. And you get smaller, and you get drained. You stop growing. You stop being yourself. You stop giving love to yourself. And instead, start putting all of your energy to the other person that many times does not even realize about what the problem is. In most of the cases, people don't talk about this. Some of the cases when they talk about it, I'm like, okay, maybe your problem is that you're afraid of showing love. You're afraid, or that could be the partner, right? And that's what I want to fix. If I show love to this person, the person is gonna change, blah, blah, blah. But then you start giving, but then you forget about what you need, right? And the other person does not change, maybe does not care about you, whatever. And you forget about giving love to yourself and start putting it all on the other person. So you don't receive love from yourself, not from the other person either, because it's not working. So what happens with you? What happens with you? It's all the relationship based on the other person, but not on you. Is that what you want? No, right? So that's why it's very important from the very beginning to decide, step up on yourself and say, I am not responsible for the other person. I'm responsible for myself. And that's what I'm going to take care of. So in order for you to understand this better, I want to share my experience with you. So I'm going to give you one example of my life. Or let's say a few examples. Let's talk about relationships. I think relationships are the main part that everybody focuses on. Everybody doesn't have to. So let's go to my own experience. I'm gonna give a few examples from my own life, my own experience. So starting with family. It happens a lot. It happens a lot, but unfortunately, trying to help people from my family is something that it has certain limits. And like I said before, yes, your family is there. You always have to be with them. If it's your mom, your dad, you try to do everything you can. I do everything that is on my hands. But To a certain point, I cannot change people. I cannot be like, Dad, do this and that because you are hurting yourself or you are doing this wrong. And it's impossible. At a certain point, you really have to realize that it's not up to you. It's not your responsibility. So it happened in my family, and I know, I'm sure for every single one of you it happened the same as well. You have at least one member of your family, think about that person, one person in your family that is very stubborn, that has always problems, that you and maybe many people, other people in their family are giving advice to this person. No, you should do this and that. Why don't you do this? Or and you see, this person always does the opposite. Then you're like, why? I told you not to do it. Why did you do it? I told you not to go and buy that car because that was going to be a waste of money, waste of time, bad investment. Why did you do it? We told you, all of us, whatever, just an example, right? And this person goes and does it. It happens a lot. And then you realize about it. No matter how hard you try, how much advice you try to give, even if it's just you or from the whole family or many other people. Some people do just what they want to do, and they're not looking for approval from you. They're just looking for kind of like a different opinion. They just want to let you know what they're going to do, but at the end of the day, they just want to do what they decided to do from the beginning, and that's what they're going to do because that's on them. That's their decision, and there's nothing on the world that you can do to change that. Unfortunately, it's like that, and I know that. What I try to do is just to be the best example of myself, to be the role model I want. There's nothing I can do. The best I can do is try to be the best role model I wish I had. What's the role model I want to have? That's what I try to be. But I can do nothing else than that. Yeah, some financial help or maybe some other advices or be there for emotional support. Yes, I do that. But still, you cannot really change the other person and the life of the other person. Another example is about friendships, and for friendships it happens as well. So for friendships it's a bit easier because if it gets toxic for you or if it gets like you don't really want to talk about this, you can pull this person away a little bit and you can say, hey, I need some more time, or you can try to keep some more distance. So in that case it's better, and it's okay for you to do it. It's okay for you to do it. You are not a bad friend if you just do not help the other person all the time, or if you do not give your advice to the other person. You are not the psychologist of your friend. You can try to help with emotional support. Yes, you can do it. You can try to give advice. You see the situation and what's going on from your point of view, and you know what's going on, but the person's not gonna change. So you try to help, you try to give the best of you, but it comes a point when you feel like, that's enough. There's nothing I can really do. I can be there, but I have wasted so much energy from myself by now. I need to take care of myself, so sorry. And you have to take care of yourself first. That's the first thing. Especially if you know that the other people do not want to change, do not make an effort to improve or make things better, do things different. And the last example is about, of course, relationships, and that's the most common one, I think. I have heard also so many cases, people trying to stay their partner, trying to be there for that person, even if the relationship does not work, because I want to help this person, I want to save it. He or she needs love, the love that he was never able to receive when he was little, and I can give that to that person. Are you serious about this? Are you serious that's gonna work? How about you? Who's gonna take care of yourself? Are you willing to give all the love that you have and stop giving it to yourself and neglect yourself for the rest of the relationship? Are you willing to do that? If you take care of that other person and give love that the other person never had, who's gonna take care of yourself? Who's gonna take care of you? Who's gonna love you? If you're busy trying to give love to the person and the other person does not even realize about it, does not try to change or does not want to change, do you think that's really going to work in the long term? Do you see yourself that way 5 years from now, 10 years from now, with kids, having a family? Then it's not going to be the other person, but also your kids, and then you giving yourself to the others. Who takes care of you? You have to do it. And that's why it's very important from the very beginning. Take care of yourself. And if you want to fix someone, think about it twice. Is that really going to work? So for my case, it's been a couple of examples that I can give you. And it's been bad. It's been bad because you really try to focus on someone, on something else. You know the relationship's not going to work. So one case was, I don't know, years ago, I was with someone, and this person had an addiction, had like weed. He was smoking weed very often. I never smoke weed. I don't like it. It's not my thing. I don't like being in a state when I'm not myself and I cannot control myself. That's why I do not do it. And I was against it. And I was like, okay, whatever. It's your decision. You can do what you want, but as long as it doesn't hurt myself, I suppose it's gonna be fine. That's what I said. Then I realized that it was not gonna work because sometimes I would meet him on the street and he was like this, like, hi, I'm just gonna buy candy and I'm gonna buy Coke and water. And I'm like, I'm like, yeah, what do you have? You have just candies, water, Coke. Why? And he was like lying to me, no, I'm just gonna go with my friends and just gonna have some dinner, watch a movie. And it was not a good feeling. I was like, is that the person I want for me? Is the person that lies to me? Is the person that does not take accountability for his actions? Is that the person that cannot control himself? Because he told me many times, no, yeah, I'm gonna work on that, it's gonna be fine, it's just like once a month, it's not bad. But there will be weeks where I would meet him like many times a week and he was in that state. Even if he did not want to accept it, you know it, you realize about it. And that was not good. That was not good, and I knew he had a problem, many other issues, and I really wanted to help, and I was like, okay, but how can you help someone like that? How? I was like, how can I help this person? I'm not a psychologist and I'm not a therapist, and even if I were, I was the girlfriend of this person at that time. It's not your responsibility to fix that person. Especially if that person does not want to. He did not really want to change. Even though he said, yes, I want to change, I want to improve. Did he ever do anything to change? Did he ever improve? No. No, not that I know, at least not at that time when I met him. So it came to a point where I said, okay, enough. That's just not what I want. This is not what I want for my life. It's not the person and not the kind of relationship I want for me. I cannot do anything else for this person. I understand he's got an addiction, he's going through that and he has different problems, and yeah, we're in a different country, blah, 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 different kind of challenges. But there's different ways to deal with our problems, and that's just not the way I want to deal with mine. So I said, no, it's not gonna work. Next. Other two examples, those are cases that are very common from what I have heard also from other friends, from other situations. Two cases were very related to being emotionally unavailable. So those were people that would not tell their feelings. It was really hard for them to express their feelings one way or a different way, but it was, for one of them, it was like physically he could express somehow to a certain point, but where he felt that there was so much intimacy, he could not really give everything. He could not really love. He could not be affectionate. And the other person, well, it was kind of similar. Like they try to keep distance when the relationship comes to a point, or try to avoid intimacy or things like that. And those are things you kind of realize, especially after a while, not at the beginning, because at the beginning it's like everything's super nice and you don't realize about many things. You are focused on just like being in love and how nice it feels. But later on, once you are in the relationship, you realize about it, and then you're like, okay, like I'm not being reciprocated. I'm not receiving the affection I used to receive before. This person is kind of like keeping distance with me and not really connecting when we're together. What's going on? It feels different. And yeah, it was like 2 different people I had this problem with. Why? Because I had to learn about it so it doesn't happen again. But it was very interesting because I really tried to reach out to these people and connect with them, and I really felt they were pulling away. Of course, not at the same time. Those were like 2 different times in my life. One when I was like a few years before, and then the other one like a few years later. But it was a kind of similar situation. Not exactly the same, but I realized that they both were emotionally unavailable. One physically, the other one was more with doing activities together. He tried to avoid like doing certain things together because it was too much time together. And there were things that would hurt me, because then after a while, of course, you don't feel loved that much, or you feel like the person is going through this problem. Later I realized one of them had, I don't know, kind of like pornography addiction or something like that. That really hurts. Those are the things that really affect you in a relationship. And that's when you have to think about yourself. Do I really want to go through this? Even though this person is going through trauma, is going to, going to look for porn or for a different kind of addiction, or trying to avoid physical affection, because he fears to be abandoned, he fears to be rejected, he fears to be hurt. There's many kind of issues that could happen with people in that kind of state, right? So you think about it, yes, you find empathy about that situation, but at the same time, that's not right. It's not your responsibility. And that's when you really have to think about yourself. Like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do for myself? And those were the times in my life when I was like, okay, maybe I can keep trying to make the relation work with these people. And at the end, it was really hard because I was like, no, it's not really gonna work. And I tried to talk about the situation, and they didn't say anything. They tried to avoid their feelings. They were like, no, it's fine, everything's okay. It was not until like a breaking point where I had to say, I'm leaving, it's not working. So yeah. Oh no, it's actually I'm watching porn. Okay, tell me more. But they would not really communicate or tell you what was going on, and you could not really connect the dots. And that way is really hard. It's really, really hard. And even though I really got to know more about the situation, how the person grew up, what kind of problems he was going through when he was a child and everything. Those were like 2 different cases. I was like, what can I do? If this person doesn't communicate well, means that doesn't want really help. If this person knows what's going on, knows that the relationship is not going well because of that, and doesn't try to change, doesn't to look for help and communicate that to you, how is that gonna work? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I thought about it many times, and I'm like, okay, I understand the situation. We even, in one case, just one of those cases, we went through therapy and tried to see what was going on, what would happen if we did like therapy up to this point or whatever. But I realized about it. I was like, it's gonna be a really, really, really hard process. Even going through therapy, this person would not really open himself, and I still didn't know what was going on. Insecurities, low self-esteem. He did not receive affection when he was a little kid or whatever. He was afraid to be abandoned. He was afraid to be loved. Many insecurities that this person could have had in his life. Both people, actually, those cases I'm talking about. What can I do about it? If this person does not really communicate that to me, and even through therapy, this person does not really open, it's gonna be very hard. How many years of your life you wanna waste on that? How much time? Even if you know that what the problem is, if the other person doesn't want to change, there's nothing for you to do there. There's no way you can fix this person. And it's not your responsibility to do it. And it's sad. Yes, it is. It is sad because it hurts seeing someone that you love, that you care about, suffering. You know that is happening because this person really is afraid of loving, is afraid of being hurt, is afraid of rejection, has been through or going through abandonment. This person has traumas, maybe addictions as well because of the low self-esteem, and maybe he really deep inside believes that doesn't deserve love or is never really gonna be loved. Maybe you are such a good person to him or to her, and it's hard for some people to accept that. Like, they don't feel they deserve it, and it hurts. It hurts when you can do nothing about that. But sometimes that's all you can do. Work on yourself. Show this person that it's possible. And then if they are stuck in their problems, you are going to take responsibility for yourself. And you're going to show them that it's possible to get yourself together, to find real love, to love yourself as well first, more than anybody else in the world. Love yourself and take care of yourself. You're gonna show this person. That's the only thing you can do. Show them. Be a role model for them. Because if you try to give them love, try to show them and help them do that, and you are neglecting yourself, what are you doing? You're just talking, but you're not, You have to show, own what you feel, what you say, what you believe. The best way to do it is by showing it. Be the role model. Be the example. Focus on yourself and your life. That's the only way for you to help them, to love them. And don't drag yourself into their problems, into their traumas, into their addictions. They're not your responsibility. They're not yours to solve. And you have to understand that even though these people are going through pain, are going through traumas, are going through addictions, through this cycle of maybe low self-esteem, hurting themselves, or maybe not being able to receive real love in their lives because they don't even love themselves. That's sad. Even though that's happening, you have to understand that what they're doing with you is not okay. They know that it's not right, that if they don't show love to you, or they hurt you, or if they cheat on you, or whatever they do on you, or if they behave that way, or if they do drugs or pornography or whatever they do, whatever they're doing is not okay. They know it. It's not right. And their pain, their traumas, whatever happened with them in the past, it's not an excuse of their behavior. It's not. It's not okay, and you cannot tolerate it. You must not tolerate it because it's not okay. So that's why, if it doesn't change, if it doesn't work out, and if they don't change, if they're not willing to take a step and really recognize that they need help and go to therapy, look for help, then things are not going to change, and you're going to keep tolerating a situation, contributing to their bad behavior, to their traumas, to their state that is not really okay. So don't do it. It's not okay. You do not have to tolerate that kind of situation, that kind of behavior with themselves, with yourself as well. And don't do that to yourself as well, especially. Do not sacrifice yourself in the process. Save yourself. Take care of yourself. Save yourself first. If you don't save yourself first, if you don't take care of yourself first, if you don't love yourself first, you won't be able to help anybody else. You won't be able to give love to anybody else. So take care of yourself first. Save yourself first. It's up to you. Also think about what you deserve. How is your image of a good relationship? Don't you deserve someone who takes care of yourself, who loves you so much, really by heart, at the fullest? You deserve someone who's able to do it the same way you can do it as well. And if you're willing to do it, that's why you deserve as well. Don't settle for someone who's troubled and who cannot give love because you're not gonna be happy. You deserve someone better. Just think about it. Don't you really want a relationship where there's someone who can really love you the way you are, who can give you love, like genuinely love, for real? Someone like who is happy with himself or herself, right? At the fullest, because they're whole. They don't need your approval to be happy. They're fine. And that's why they can love you and give love and have the most fulfilling relationship ever. Don't you wish that for yourself? You deserve it, so look for that. Don't settle for someone who's not gonna be willing to change for you. Don't settle for that. Settle for someone who really deserves you. You deserve it. And that's for sure someone that's meant for you, for your highest good, for your happiness. Be that person you would like to have for you in your life. Be it, you will receive it. Alright, hope that part of my experience, my story, my point of view could resonate with you. Please write down your comments below, everything you think about this, your experiences. If there's something you want to ask me, please write it down. I would like to connect so much, and let's support each other, because that's why we're here. Thanks a lot for watching. Love you so much, and see you next time in another video.